Hey guys, we're back. I know it's been a while. I haven't forgot about you guys, but we're all super busy and the animals come first. So first of all, I want to say thank you guys, everyone that come out and supported CA in Tinley Park. It was amazing. Got to meet some new friends, see some old ones. It was just a fantastic time. I love it. It makes all the hard work and everything that goes into it worth it. But enough about Tinley Park. What are we going to talk about this week? We're going to talk about racks. I get a ton of emails all the time. A lot of questions about my racks. As you can see, they're green. They're sporting the mascot colors, but they're pretty green. The camera doesn't really pick up a lot of the metal flake, and everyone that comes over says they look like candy. But I get a lot of questions about racking, and I want to talk about some of the pros and cons between what we use, what these racks are, and why they're green. So here we go. Let's do it. Alright guys, so here we go. So what are these racks? These particular racks right here behind me are ARS hatchling racks. You can tell by the color of the ARS hatchling tubs. They hold 75 or 78, I'm not really sure, but you'll have to look it up and see. We use the VE 300X2s on all of our ARS caging. With the Freedom Breeders, I use the new Freedom Breeder thermostats. I love those. I think they're phenomenal. But these guys right here, I like the ARS structure. I love the solid. This is not the hybrid. This is the solid metal rack. I love the fact of how sturdy these are. I'm always the guy that when I buy something, I want that for life. You know, I want these racks to be in my building for life. I don't want to have to change them. I don't want to have to go buy new racks. When I buy a rack, I know I got a rack for life. So I love that about this rack. The solid metal tops, I think they hold humidity extremely well. The ARS tubs are made of a really good plastic. They're very tough. They're very hardy. I love that about the ARS tubs. What I don't like about these hatchling racks is when you're going through here and you're feeding and you're dropping pups in, the thing I don't like about it's like when I get up here, the water bowl is the front of the tub. So if you're not careful, you'll drop that pup right in the water bowl every time. Or they'll wrap it, they'll come out, hit it, wrap it right over the water bowl, and then when they go to let it go to get it in position to swallow it, they'll drop it in the water bowl and then they won't eat it. So that's one thing I definitely don't like about the ARS tubs in general, the hatchling tubs anyways. Alright guys, so this is like a half and half rack. This is what I love about Freedom Breeders, they're interchangeable. The top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels, I've got the hatchling Freedom Breeder 10 tub, I think it's 10 series or something like that. Freedom Breeder hatchling tubs, and then the bottom half I've got these 15 quart tubs that also do well with subadults. This is what I've been keeping my males in. I think it's fantastic. I love it. I want to keep using it, and what I want to do is I want to move my bigger males into the ARS 40 tub series. I think that's just a better male rack for me to keep bigger males. I'll still keep males under 700 grams probably in these tubs, but the fact is that I'm partial to Freedom Breeder. I think they make a phenomenal product. I think it's a little bit easier to mess them up, and what I mean by that is you know, an ARS, you can stand up and down on it, you can jump up and down on it. It's a solid piece of metal, but it's also heavy. But the fact that these are more versatile, interchangeable, be careful when you buy the new ones. Sometimes they will have an 1/8 inch gap in between the heat panel and the tub. The tub doesn't necessarily sit on the heat panel. I talked with Jesse at Freedom Breeder about this, and he says that if you just bend the tabs on the end just a little bit, the tub will actually slide in and transfer the heat better. If you're keeping your room at a room temperature of 80 degrees with a 90-degree hot spot, then that 1/8 inch gap is going to be welcome. I think it's just, you know, that's your preference on what you want to do with that rack. All right, so what are we looking at here? This right here is the Subadult 40 tub series, 40 tub from ARS. They're super tough, and I love the solid metal tops. I'm not not really a hybrid guy. If I was going to go ARS, I personally don't like the hybrid series. That's just my opinion. But this is what I'm going to for all my males. This tub is 6 inches shorter than the Freedom Breeder 40s that I will show you here in just a second. But this is what I'm going to use for all my males. It's the 40 tub series from ARS. It's a little bit shorter tub. I'll grow them up to 600 grams in these 15 quarts from, I could say 15 quarts. They're a 15 quart size tub from Freedom Breeder. I'm going to grow mine up in those, and once they get over 750, I'm going to move them into these. So much easier to clean, so much easier to handle. So that's what we're going to for the males. Now on to the females. All right, guys. So this is the Freedom Breeder 40 tub series rack. This is what I love keeping all of my subadult females in that I'm raising up, getting ready to breed. I usually move them into these racks at about 12 months. Probably this size here is when they get moved. This girl, I would say, is probably, this girl's probably close to 1,000, 1,200 grams. So I think this is about adequate size to be moved into the FB40 racks. Sometimes if it's a really good feeder, I'll move them sooner, and sometimes I'll move them down from the CB70s if they're not doing well in the CB70s. I'll move them back down into these. But I love the stainless steel on these racks. I think it's great for everyone that you know, is just looking for a really hardy rack. I powder coat mine just from my drag racing days. We powder coated everything, or chrome. We chromed out a lot of stuff just back in those days. But this is a brand new one, so if you order a stainless steel Freedom Breeder, this is how it comes. I love the fact that you can take the inserts out of these, wash them, clean them. I love the fact that the water bowls are further back. I think it's just a fantastic all-around rack, and if I could only have one rack, period, if I only could buy one, this would be the one. This is the most versatile rack you could have. I can take CB70 levels and put on this rack. I can put 40 levels on the CB70 rack. You can just interchange with them. You can't do that with ARS and some of the other companies out there. Okay, guys, so this is the adult CB70 racks from this green one here is Freedom Breeder. The gray one behind me is ARS. I really needed those racks, so I didn't get them powder coated in time, but I do have plans to get them powder coated. So the CB70 tubs, do I like them? I think you need a certain amount of CB70s in your collection. For those big girls that are over 3,000 grams, I do have girls that are 1,500 and less in some of these tubs, but honestly, if she's not a really good feeder, she's probably not going to do well in a CB70 tub. We're going more towards the Freedom Breeder 40 tubs. I think those, like I said, if I could have one rack, that would be it. It's the most versatile rack in my opinion. I love it. And I think the CB70s was a big thing when Freedom Breeder first put out their racks and stuff, but I think a lot of people's moving away from those. I think they do better in a smaller tub. You know, unless it's a really, really big girl like this girl, I don't think it's necessary to have a whole bunch of CB70s. I think you can fit more ball pythons in a, you can fit 40 versus 30. The racks take up the same amount of room, and I think the smaller animals do a lot better in the FB40s than they do the 70s. So I don't plan on adding any more CB70s. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 of the CB70s, and that's plenty enough for me. I think I'll continue to add the Freedom Breeder 40s and also the ARS 40s. I think those two are my favorite racks. I can definitely say that both products are phenomenal, even though I'm a little biased towards Freedom Breeder. I think their stuff is more versatile. I think it's more up to date than some of the ARS stuff. But hopefully that will help you guys with some of your problems or making your future choices with your rack purchases. Alright, so one more thing I want you guys to take into account when you're making your new rack purchases is the difference in plastic between Freedom Breeder and ARS. The Freedom Breeder tubs are made of a softer plastic. They tend to scratch a little easier over time, tarnish a little easier than ARS tubs. The ARS tubs are super tough, super hardy. They're more expensive than the Freedom Breeder tubs. I think, either one of them will last you a really long time. I think they're both great products. So, why are my racks green? We just wanted something different. We were tired of the same old flat gray, boring gray. Everyone's snake room looked the same. We wanted to go with the company colors. Be a little bit different, and so far we're liking it. We enjoy it. It definitely sets things apart, and that's what we like to do. So thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Keep those comments and questions and topics coming, and we'll try to answer them as soon as we possibly can. Till next time.